I can wait another day until I call you. You've only got my heart on a string and everything aflutter. But another lonely night might take forever. We've only got each other to blame. It's all the same to me, love, 'cause I know what I feel to be right. No more lonely nights. No more lonely nights. You're my guiding light. Day or night, I'm always there.
woosah. Rest no more, because it is opening day. We are so ecstatic to kick things off. I'm Nancy Holthus, your paddock analyst, with our esteemed track announcer, Matt Dinnerman. It's all going to happen. Finally, we are here Friday, December 12th, Matt.
The anticipation was real, but
Yes.
no more, because we're here, and as you can see, well, you can't see, but we can see people filing into the grandstand here. You can tell the excitement of the folks in the town for opening day, along with the horse community, and it is just so great to be back.
Yeah, Oaklawn and certainly, or the city of Hot Springs certainly embraces our racing season. We like to call this the fifth season. Beautiful weather today. So excited that Mother Nature has decided to cooperate with us and celebrate such a wonderful event. So a lot of new things going on this year at Oaklawn. We'll be talking about new promotions, and most importantly, we got a lot of new faces here this meet too, because of the money.
Yeah, absolutely. I counted 39 jockeys on the official roster to start the meet.
That's a record.
I think probably at least 10 of them would be newcomers.
Yes.
And on top of that, Nancy, as you've been there in the morning, we've seen new trainers emerging.
Right.
Some bigger strings, some smaller strings. And that just reaffirms the opinion of me and you and a lot of people here in Arkansas that Oaklawn in the wintertime, it's the place to be.
Absolutely. And part of that is because we are giving away roughly $900,000 each race card, 62 stakes in the 64-day season. So let's go ahead and kick things off. Let's take a look at our weather page, as it is sunny. I love that. Just 5-mile-an-hour winds out of the west-northwest. Of course, we're going to start off with a fast track, and temp is right now 52 degrees. It's a great day to be out on the apron, cheer those horses in the stretch run. So very excited that we do get some sunny today.
Mother Nature likes horse racing, and
Yes, she does.
she came out and said, you know what, we're going to give you a good day today. And
We got it.
it's always, as they say, the sun always shines at Oaklawn Park. But
It's true.
especially today, I think that just means the electricity, the feeling in the air is going to be that much better here on track.
Matt and I both do a lot of interviews with media and kind of, gearing up for this season. But, they always ask us, what's your favorite day of the race meet? It might be Arkansas Derby, it might be Apple Blossom, but opening day really does kind of set the tone for the remainder of the season.
I went to bed last night feeling like it was the night before Arkansas Derby, that type of feel.
I love
and
that.
as you say, it sets the tone for the season, and if you look at what we're going to set, the bar is very, very high.
Yes.
Big fields, quality. This whole week, just a phenomenal job by not only our racing office, led by Pat Pope, but also the horsemen for having their horses ready to run and entering.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make sure we are prepared for today. Let's take a quick look at our Oaklawn news page. And of course, welcome back and happy opening day for the 2025-2026 season. We're going to do things a little different this year. We are running our holiday meet starting today through January 4th. We'll get the Smarty Jones in the book, but we're going to take a 3-week break from action and return on January 30th till closing day. That's Kentucky Derby Day, Saturday, May 2nd, and we're referring to that as our classic meet. So doing something a little different this year, but the fans and the horsemen have been very receptive to it. Another new thing, we've got a new wagering menu for you. We'll be discussing that as we get into the card. Today's feature is the Advent Stakes, and that's going to be a nice little sprint for the 2-year-olds. And in addition to all the promotions, we want to make sure you sign up for an Oaklawn rewards card. We've seen those over in the casino side. It's now on the racing side, and you earn points for every $5 wagered. So you can use those points towards food across the property, maybe the gift shop, but it's nice that all you got to do is get your card. It's free to sign up and use that card either at a standalone terminal or a mutual teller and get those points going, because they certainly can rack up.
And they can rack up, and that means you get good comps like
Yes.
food. And for all across the property now, for every dollar you spend, it's more for your buck, bang for your buck.
Absolutely. We always love to give back to our fans because, as we know, Matt, we have the best fans in all of racing.
They're just so enthusiastic and positive, and That's one of the reasons why you and I want to work so hard is for the
Yes.
fans to make sure they have a great experience.
Yes.
And they not only come, they come in droves, and they come excited, they come to play, and they come to have a good time.
And I know it's close to post when we smell the wonderful aroma of the Oaklawn popcorn.
You were mentioning that before we got on
Smells
air
so
here.
good. Oh, and make sure you come hungry tomorrow because it is our corned beef sandwich day. You get 2 corned beef sandwiches and a soda for only $1. So you can feed the whole family for less than $20.
When was the last time you could buy food for prices from 1904?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
that's
We're
what
throwing
it
it
was back in 1904,
Yeah.
about 50 cents for a corned beef sandwich. So for 2 corned beef sandwiches and a soda, it's just $1. And if you have 100 pennies, that'll work too.
They might not like that.
I was going to say,
put 'em in rolls
the
and then you
cashier
could-
might not love that, but we'll give you the corned beef sandwich nonetheless.
We do have 10 amazing races in store for you on this opening day. So let's go ahead and get down to business as we start things off with the 2-year-old fillies, a maiden allowance condition, and they are set to contest a 1.16 miles in distance for a purse of $100,000. A big scratch out of your morning line favorite. That is Rockin' Robin. So it could be a little bit of a change up for things. Matt, how did you see the opener?
Well, it may be a little bit of a change-up. I still use the top pick other than Rockin' Robin anyway, so I don't have to change that. Jolly Jolene's going to be my pick. First time out for Lindsay Schultz, and the Schultz barn doesn't really fire first out anyway. They don't really have them cranked. They can win first out, but their horses coming from the Shug McGahee School of Training, Lindsay Schultz, usually over time they progress and they get more fit as time goes on. Showed speed, actually went to the lead in a 6-furlong race, faded. Came back and ran a much better race, ran third, now going to the route of ground. 2 of 4 siblings were routers themselves. The dam was unraced, and one of those siblings, believe it or not, was Hades, who's a Grade 3 winner. Pretty nice horse for the Joe Orsino barn. He was actually on the Derby Trail at one point. So Jolly Jolene, I think she'll like the route. And Francisco Arrieta has the call. I think he's got a live one. And really starting off right where he left off because he came with a big rush late to win the jockey title last season.
Well, I scratched in Jolly Jolene.
Okay.
And going from sprint to route, Lindsay Schultz does fairly well at 15%. This is also a daughter of Gervin, who is 11% first time going a route of ground. So it looks like that last race, she's certainly going to benefit from some added real estate.
And I think that she's just gradually improving that
Yes.
Lindsay Schultz type of pattern here. And going from 2 sprints to a route, that's a very profitable angle in horse racing. Sometimes you see trainers, they go sprint, then right to route.
Right.
They really think a horse can route. But other times they give them that 2 sprints, just a good foundation, so when they do go the route of ground, they're fit.
Good information to know. Race number 2, let's talk Arkansas bred. Maiden, $20,000 claiming for fillies and mares. They will sprint 6 furlongs in distance. And some of these Archie breds, as we've seen, they've been on the shelf since last season. So this, as we start things out, some horses have more recency than others. So we'll see how everything pans out in race number 2, as we did have just 1 scratch in the body, but that does allow for the 13 to draw in, and the 14 is a scratch, by the way. So, Matt, what do you think about the first leg of the pick 4?
And it looks like we've got 2 jockey changes as well. Cava to be ridden by Rafael Bejarano. Not for everyone, make the jockey Ramon Vasquez. And I think Ramon Vasquez just picked up a pretty live one in this one because I like Not for Everyone, who first time out last year I thought ran a really respectable second from off the pace. Didn't break great either and came with a nice run in for the maiden 20 again for the State Breds, which we saw this runner in last time. And I think off the layoff, he can run well fresh. We know that. Hopefully Terry Brennan, who trains, has him fit. Looking for his first win of the year is Terry with his small string. But I think this filly can give it to him.
Absolutely. I'm going to go a few stalls to the inside with the number 9, Y City. And if you live remotely in the area, you're familiar with Y City. It's that little stop in the road between Hot Springs and Fort Smith. Not much there because several years ago a tornado came through and kind of took everything out.
That was there?
That was there. It's not there any longer. There's quite a few inexperienced in this field, but Y City does have a few starts under the belt. Actually joined the barn off a 7,500 $500 claim 2 back at Louisiana Downs and was 4th last out versus Tougher Company. And that was 7/8 at Delta. That configuration at Delta is 2 turns. And the barn does very well. This is Juan Sanchez with Jaime Torres, another new rider here this season. Sanchez does well, 2nd off the claim. So we're going to be talking about a lot of new names, which is awesome to see. As you mentioned, how many jockeys? 39, something like that?
39 is on my count.
That's a big, big number. That's the fullest jocks room I think they've had here since maybe the late 90s, which is impressive.
That is impressive.
Yes.
Coleman Lloyd, who runs the room up there, he's going to have his hands full up there with all those riders and valets. But that's what we want. We want people here, and we want people to get opportunities to make some money. It's right here, all the money.
Yeah, Coleman is some of the muscle behind the scenes, if you will. And so he's up in the jocks room handling all of the weights, all of the riders, all of the valets. So Coleman, job well done. We know you got your hands full this season. Race number 3 is a 50 starter set to go 1 mile using the short stretch of the Oaklawn Run, and that is for 3-year-olds and upward, and no scratches or changes in the field of 10, but a really, really good group.
A really strong starter allowance, non-3 here. So all these runners have won twice, except for numbers 1 and 3, who are running out of their conditions a little bit there. But Determinately is going to be my pick in this race. You know, this horse took a really long layoff from April 2024 to March of this year. And whenever a horse takes a long layoff, especially one that has experience, you get a little bit weary of the fact that you just hope that they come back off that layoff as the same type of horse. And even though on the page it doesn't look like he's come back as the same horse as he was in 2024, the fact of the matter is he's only run 1 race on the dirt, and it was a really good second at Saratoga in an allowance race. So if you can run second in allowance at Saratoga, you've got some ability, and you're destined to get a good Beyer speed figure as well, which he did. His last 2 races were very poor. They were on synthetic. I've noted this before when I was at Golden Gate calling Tapeta races. Some horses love the synthetic. Others don't really take to it, and some can run on either. But I just don't think this horse is a synthetic horse, so I cross his last 2 races off. And I think if he can run back to his Saratoga race, he's got a really good chance.
Well, leading trainer from last year in many, many years, Steve Asmussen sends out the number 2 first player. Joel Rosario returns to Oaklawn. Very impressive, but he is 0 for 5 this year, but did manage to pick up a trio of seconds for those efforts in the afternoon, all at today's mile. I'd really like to see this runner get in a good position early. Some horses, you can't give them too much to do, is what they say. So hopefully he gets a good, even trip, and I'm going to go with the number 2 first player, and Steve is 22% second off the claim. He did purchase this horse 2 starts back for that $50,000 tag, and good second last time out also, but that was over the slop. I'd like we get a fast racing surface today.
You're getting it.
Yeah, I think all weekend we should be pretty lucky.
We should be pretty good. And I will say about this horse, Nancy, I believe first player is a little bit better at 2-turn miles. His last 2 races were at a 1-turn mile at Churchill Downs. And as you've seen before, that can make a difference with the configuration. Some horses are just better on turns. Some are better at the 1-turn mile.
Exactly.
I think this horse will like the 2-turn configuration.
I like the confidence. Race number 4 is a restricted $10,000 claiming event. It is for 3-year-olds and up. Some non-winners of 3. Others have not won a race since June 12th. They are going to sprint 6 furlongs. And we did have several scratches in here, but that does leave a competitive field of 10. And this, again, is the first leg of a 50-cent pick 4.
And my favorite founding fathers in this race,
I
Ben
love that
Franklin.
You loved that horse last year.
He's in for $10,000 today. I don't know if this is a rule or not. I'm pretty sure the announcer shouldn't be claiming horses, so I won't claim them. But if I wasn't the announcer here, I'd look for a partnership and claim Ben
there
Franklin,
you go.
just because of the name.
I'll go in
Just because
halvesies
of the
with
name.
you.
Okay, there you go. There, we got to win the Class 6 today
Yeah,
to maybe pad our bankroll there, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. But my top pick in the race is Easy Fast. I think Jimmy DeVito, he's going to have, in my opinion, a very good week. I think he's got a lot of live horses coming from Hawthorne. And even though Hawthorne is sort of a B-, C+ track, he's got well-bred, good stock, and he's spotted horses aggressively. We're going to see him in a couple of maiden races this weekend. We're going to see Boca Beach Club, who I really like, in the Advent Stakes. I picked Easy Fast on top. This horse was in for 12-5 last time at Hawthorne and stumbled, and the rider came off. So cross that out. He was going off favored that day, so he was projected to run well. He's in for 10 here. Comes off a 12.5 non-2 lifetime win, sprinting 6 furlongs from off the pace. I think there's a good amount of speed to set things up for his off-the-pace style. New jockey here at Oaklawn, Johan Rosado aboard. I like Easy Fast at 8-1 on the morning line. And this is one of these races that really is tricky, I think, Nancy, because you're getting horses from all different places. A 12.5 claimer at Hawthorne might be different than a 12.5 claimer at Thistledown.
That's completely true.
It's hard to gauge how classy these horses are in recent form because of who they're running against. They're all different types of horses.
Well, one horse that has run against a lot of other horses at a lot of different racetracks is the number 8 Jackman, who I have scratched into. I love a horse for course, and a lot of times you will see those Asmussen runners really thrive here in Hot Springs. The first name that comes to my head is Skelly, who loves the surface, and we'll see this weekend. But Jackman does get the services of Ramon Vasquez after facing much tougher 20 beaten claimers at Remington. Comes back to Hot Springs, where this runner is in the money 16 of 21. 8 of those have produced trips to the winner's circle. So very excited to see this hard-knocking 7-year-old in the paddock and out on the track as Jackman looks for his 16th career victory.
Wow. It doesn't matter what level. You got to be a racehorse.
Yes.
You got to have the mind of a racehorse, the will to win. And I will say about Jackman, he has seen better days. He may be a little bit long in the tooth, but he really likes Oaklawn Park, and he's got the winningest trainer of all time on his side, too.
Yes.
So that always helps.
I love those good, hard-knocking, honest horses. Race number 5 is for 2-year-olds. Maiden claiming price of $50,000, and they will contest 6 furlongs. And we should note just a few scratches in there, but the 13 does draw in. This race kicks off the $1 Classics. So that is the pick 6. So it's going to be some interesting wagers. See if anybody singles.
Definitely, and it's hard to find a single in a sequence like this, I'll tell you that. And we do have a carryover provision there, so if nobody hits the pick 6, it will carry over. I think that in a race like this, it's tough to find a single because you've got horses maybe that are cutting back in distance after poor efforts. Maybe they don't have great form. You got a first-time starter or 2 in here. I'm going to take a Mark Casse trainee, Miskel, who first time out actually didn't run all that bad, all things considered, just because he's in for 50 here against this field. Didn't do much running, really. Sort of ran an even race for maiden 150,000. Came back routing, didn't run a step. So now he cuts back in distance from a route to a sprint. My favorite angle. He'll be fit, and I think the son of Tapit can run well here for 50,000. I don't think he's a world beater. I don't think anybody is in this race, but I think he fits. And I like the outside post in a sprint because from there, you can look inside the jockey, and this being Jaime Torres, he can look inside, see what others are doing, and decide where he wants to be.
Love that. I'm going to go kind of in the middle of the field with the number 5, War Money, sired by Munnings. Big fan of the Munnings babies. Does make the second career start, and Munnings is about 15% with those runners scoring in their second career. Had a legitimate debut, running 3rd in a field of 7, maiden 30,000 at Churchill back in early November. I like some of those works that shows me that this horse has been moving forward. Got some good gate works. Most recently, December 5th, and it was over the mud in 49-2. So track might have been a little bit heavy and playing maybe a little bit slower that day. So really excited to see War Money for Tommy Vance, and Joe Bilmer is back at Oaklawn. So glad to see Jockey Joe back with us.
From a prominent horse family.
Yes.
We were talking about, Nancy, the fact that you're trying to maybe find a single in the Class 6. I am 100% trying to beat the horse that you have on top. So that tells us how competitive this first race is, at least I think.
Right, and a lot of more wagering menu items that we will discuss in just a few. But for right now, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and we'll be right back with race number 6.
Tis the season to swipe. Christmas Cash is back with $25,000 in cash. This December, every swipe at our swipe stations could unlock more than just prizes. It could put you on the nice list for a stack of Christmas cash. Here's how it works. Swipe your ID at our swipe stations on Fridays and Sundays for double entries, and on Saturdays for a single entry, all building up to our Christmas Cash drawing on Saturday, December 20th, when 4 winners will be called after races 1 through 7 to each win anywhere from $500 to $1,500 in cash. Your Christmas Cash is calling, and it starts with your swipe. So don't miss your chance to win big this holiday season at Oaklawn.
Looking for a win? When you sign up for Oaklawn Anywhere, there's an easy way to score a $200 bonus, and it's as simple as placing your next bet. Here's how it works. You sign up, place your bets because that's the fun part, and for every $200 you wager in the first 30 days, Oaklawn gives you $50. $50? Yes! Just keep placing your bets to reach $200 in bonus cash. Easy, right? Every time you hit the $200 mark, you'll get your bonus credited in 3 business days. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for Oaklawn Anywhere, place your bets, and start collecting your bonus. It's as easy as it sounds. Remember, the thrill of racing is always at your fingertips with Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
They're up. Hales Angel with a nice kick today. Hits the furlong pole and shakes away. Ramon Vasquez won the Advent Stakes last year with Valentine Candy, and this year he's got a nice one. Hales Angel wins decisively by 4.
We're roughly an hour away from first post for the season, and the place is already packed. There were people waiting outside to get in the building at 11 o'clock when we opened the doors. So it really is that just warm rush of solid spirit.
I feel like a kid in a candy store or an adult showing up to Las Vegas. Either way, we're fired up here
Pick
in
your
the studio,
poison.
Nancy.
Pick your poison.
Exactly.
I love that.
I'll tell you this: an hour away, you just gave me like a little thrill right there, like a little
goosey?
shot, like little goosebumps
Yep.
there. Yeah, it's so exciting, and we've got a great card for it, and I just love the way the studio's placed because we can look and see all the fans here. And
people come by the windows and
mainline
wave
sports
and all
bar
that good
here.
stuff, and it's always nice to see a lot of returning fans.
Right.
And then they bring their friends who may not have been to Oaklawn before, creating just a new vibe and a new atmosphere.
It really is amazing how so many people flock to the races here in this town, and they're not just people from Hot Springs. I mean, they come from all over the state of Arkansas and sometimes Texas and Oklahoma. And that's what makes Oaklawn so special, is not only the fact that we have big fields and a good wagering product, but when you're here, there aren't too many racetracks that are like it. Maybe Saratoga, maybe Keeneland can rival Oaklawn, but other than those two places, it's the same feel.
Absolutely.
Racing-centric, loud, exciting, people having a good time.
Being in the barn area a few days ago, meeting a lot of the new faces, primarily riders, kind of giving them the lowdown because it's many of their first time here as well, and trying to let them know anywhere you go, whether it's grocery shopping, out to eat, there's racing on the TVs, people talking about what they played that day, and they are the local celebrities. I mean, this is our professional sport in Arkansas, so we like to brag on Oaklawn quite a bit.
We do, and we're shameless about it too. And we will keep doing it.
We will keep doing it. Nothing extra in our paycheck for it, but we're just going to keep doing it because we love it so much. Race number 6 is for 3-year-olds and up. A 12.5 starter allowance set to go 1 mile and an 1/8 in distance. And this does kick off the first leg of the late 50-cent pick 5. A couple scratches, but that does allow the number 14 Dynamis to draw in the body. Matt, what do you think about this first leg? The Trail's Head.
Well, I was just about to say that. I love this. Pat Pope made this race last year.
Yes.
He called it the Trail's Beginning. And this year, what did you say?
The Trail's Head is what's in the program.
So it's really a nice starter allowance to kick things off here, going 1 mile and an 1/8 of full field. I'm going towards the inside with Keen Cat. He was the runner-up in a starter allowance race pretty much similar to this last year. So he can go a mile and an eighth. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think he's at his very, very best going a mile or a mile and a 16th. But I don't think that 16th of a mile, hopefully anyway, will be the difference between a win and a loss. Last time out, he was coming off of freshening. He sprinted 7 furlongs, sat off the pace, had a pretty rough trip of it, ahead to steady, approaching the 4-turn run, and I think he's probably better going 2-turn mile and a 16th, maybe mile and an eighth. So off that last race, I think it really positions him well to run really effectively here in this spot. I would imagine that King Cat, Randy Morris, who is very prominent here at Oaklawn, I would imagine that this was really the whole line of thinking. If we get a race into him off the freshening, really have him ready for this race specifically. That's another great thing about Oaklawn, and why our first week does so well, I think, is because Pat Pope puts out the condition book extremely early in the summertime, so people know what races are going to be going, and they can set up their horses to put them in a spot to be ready.
Yeah, it's interesting, as Matt mentioned, how early the book comes out, and jockey agents already calling to get those mounts reserved in the first book. So, yeah, very interesting to see. I'm going to go with the Tom Amos contender, and that is the number 4, My Noble Knight. Luis Saez, another standout name that is joining the jockey colony this year. Very consistent, has been in the money the last 5 starts and kind of all over the place, whether at Parks, Saratoga, Keeneland, Churchill. Have horse, will travel, and that's kind of been the thing with My Noble Knight. He was an 11-length winner against Starter Allowance Company back in mid-August at Saratoga. Those extremely tough races. I think he's going to benefit from being not too far off the pace today, and I like the fact that out of 3 local starts, that has produced 2 trips to the winner's circle. So his last out came at Churchill Downs, and the barn does well with runners here having made their last start in Louisville under the Twin Spires. So a really good starter allowance race. Sometimes those are just as difficult to handicap as regular allowance races because it is so competitive.
Very competitive. Although I will say, I think these 2 are the horses to beat.
Yes.
I think if one of them at least runs their good race, one of them probably will win unless somebody else takes a step up. But as we saw earlier in the card with a starter non-3, they can be very competitive, and they can also be for horses that are allowance caliber horses who fit the conditions. So they can come up, especially here at Oaklawn, very, very tough.
Very, very tough. Before we get to race 7, I do want to mention your Out of the Starting Gate podcast is back.
Oh, thank you for the plug.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got our Out of the Starting Gate YouTube show with Matt Dinnerman, sponsored by Oaklawn, and we had a great first week. Zach Gillum, who's the vice president of wagering and racing here at Oaklawn Park, we went over a couple of cool things. Our new wagering menu, we talked about the Class 6. There's not necessarily a new wagering menu, but some new wagers involved, and we'll talk about a couple of other big ones, which are later in the card. We have a handicapping contest on track for the first time. Huge on Southwest weekend. Southwest, we've got the Southwest Showdown, and then the Oaklawn Horse Players Championship the following day. So that's going to be a big day for our horse players.
It's going to be a very busy weekend.
And just going over a clocker pick of the day, some handicapping stakes, and we're going to have all sorts of good stuff and content Oaklawn-based throughout the year, each and every week on the YouTube.
So make sure you go to Oaklawn's YouTube where it is uploaded and you can see some past and present. Race number 7, 2-year-old fillies trying to graduate in this maiden special weight event set to go 3/4 of a mile, and did have 2 scratches, but that does allow one of them to get in the body of the race stirred up, and a lot of first-time starters. So that's going to be a very interesting, not only paddock, but starting gate.
So, somebody asked me, what are you most looking forward to at Oaklawn? And I say, one of the things I really look forward to are the maiden special weights and the babies and the younger horses. We get very good quality here because of the money we give away. So with that in mind, sometimes these races they end up being weaker than we'd anticipated. Other times they come up very strong.
Yes.
So we're always looking for maybe the next star, horses with some ability. And with that in mind, I always look forward to these races. I picked Splendid Song on top in here, your second pick, so we're just flip-flopping our top 2. And I think Winning Matters number 7 and number 9, Splendid Song, have the best credentials out of anybody who has run anyway. Splendid Song, first time out, got bet at about 4-1. There's a Kentucky workout video log online where you can watch a number of workouts there, and we do have that at Oaklawn again this year on our website. And Splendid Song worked brilliantly outside of 2 workmates and went very fast time. I think a lot of people saw that they bet her. She went to the lead, got a little bit tired after setting a clear pace. I think second out for Mac Robertson, who does very well second out. His number or his percentage here, it doesn't say it here in the form, believe it or not, but he does very good second time out as opposed to first time out. And I think that Splendid Song, a filly by Yaupon, who's done very well as a stallion so far, and his horses are very sprinty and precocious as we've seen. I think this runner can run well, and I think it looked to me like late in the race she might have needed it a little bit. I think the screws will be tightened for her this time.
I think that was a really good learning lesson as well. You want these babies to have a good experience from the time they're in their stall, getting the bandages on, all the way to the walkover, the paddock, and the warm up. Just a good experience can really, really help a horse mature and grow. I think my horse, the number 7 Winning Matters, is going to be right off the heels of Matt's selection in Splendid Song. Kind of sat off the pace in the debut, but ran a very credible second, just missing that victory by less than a length. So second time out, that was also going 5.5 furlongs. Gets a little more added real estate today, and I really think that half a furlong might not sound like much, but I do think that is going to make all the difference in the world for this second time starter. This one's sired by Game Winner, who is 11% with runners second time out. We're going to see a lot of baby races in December, which I love seeing the babies.
Especially our 2-year-old day right after Christmas. We're really excited about that. That always comes up with good horses, and we see a lot of shippers for that day as well.
Yes, we do, because we're giving away a lot of dough. Race 8 is our feature on the afternoon as we highlight 2-year-olds in the 5th running of the Advent Stakes $150,000 pot, and they are going to sprint 5.5 furlongs in distance. It's a field of 7, and you really could make a case for all 7 in this group.
You could. Younger colts and geldings here that all look like they've got some ability. Fun fact about our classic, or not our classic meet, our holiday meet here, which is during the holiday season, every day we've got a stake.
That's right.
So all 13 days, there's at least a stake on each card, and this is our opening day feature, the Advent. There is a good amount of speed in here, I think, Nancy, just looking on the page. I mean, there's 4 horses that could make the front. I don't think you're going to see 4 in a line necessarily, but you're probably going to see at least 2. And I think that'll set up for a horse just off the pace. And I landed with Boca Beach Club, a Jimmy DeVito trainee they purchased for $25,000. The Omaha Beach Babies have been hot commodities at the sales rings. So the fact of the matter is that for $25,000, it's interesting that he went for this type of money, this bargain price. And so far, it looks like probably got him for a bargain because he won his first race at Hawthorne from just off the pace, drew off one for fun. I was not able to put up Boca Beach Club's most recent work, but if you watch on my YouTube show Out of the Starting Gate, it is up there. I thought he looked really good in that work. I don't even know if he's the best horse in this race, and a lot of people are picking him, so I wonder if he's going to go off in an underlay. That being said, I think the pace scenario will be ripe for him. I think he can run, and I'm going to pick him at 3-1.
I'm going to go a few stalls to the outside of Matt with the number 6 Spun DMC. Randy Morse legging up jockey Luis Saez, who's hoping to get off to a good start of the holiday meeting. This is a really talented group of 2-year-olds, and I was extremely impressed with this runner's win on debut. So it came at Churchill Downs and kind of settled off the early pace after breaking very sharply out of the starting gate and scored by more than 2 and went off a pretty nice price, and then got all the money bet in the next race in the Bowman Mill at Keeneland and ran a very credible second. So I know they think very highly of this horse in the barn. So Spun DMC with jockey Luis Saez is hoping to get his first stakes of the new season. So a very talented group, and we could see, a lot of these progress. And sometimes when you see the babies sprinting, it's just a really good experience for them to maybe go 2 turns or a route of ground later on.
And there's plenty of them that have route pedigrees. So I think it really is going to show the horsemen where they fit and also how they run, whether they're ready to stretch out, whether maybe they're not quite ready to do that, or maybe they don't want to, and they're going to stick with the sprint division, because we do have a pretty good sprint division for 2-year-old colts and geldings into the 3-year-old year of 2026.
And by the way, the Advent does kick off the $3 Get Out Pick 3 for this afternoon. Another new way.
Here's what I like about this. when I was at Golden Gate Fields, we had a wager, actually multiple, called the Golden Hour Wagers, which combined Santa Anita's last races and Golden Gate's last races. The concept was lower the takeout, increase the minimum, and you're going to get a very high payout. So with that in mind, it's a $3 get out pick 3. And a reminder too, we still have rolling pick 3s that are a lower minimum. We don't just have one pick 3, but this is the last pick 3, the late pick 3, the get out pick 3. Even though the minimum wager to bet it is higher, we've reduced the takeout to 15%.
Which is huge.
It's huge because it's horse player friendly. It may be a little bit daunting for some people to look at that minimum and say, I need to spend a little more to win, but you're going to get your bang for your buck. I've seen in the Golden Hour Wagers when they had that concept, I've seen 4 horses win as the favorites in the Golden Hour pick 4, and it would pay $700.
Wow.
Something like
That's
something
big.
insane. So you're going to see very good payouts. If you like high payouts, this is a good bet for you.
Well, speaking of new wagers, we've got something in store for you coming race 9,
Yes.
the late $5 double. So that's going to be an interesting. I always like to play doubles when I go to the track. Used to, it was just the first two races and then the last 2. But very excited as this is the first leg of that $5 double. And this is a first level allowance, 3-year-olds and up, set to go 1 mile and a 16th in distance. A rider change and 2 scratches, but that does allow both also eligibles to draw in the body of the race. So morning line favorite is Uncle Caesar. Brad Cox hoping to get off to a good start. But Matt, how do you take the first leg of the late double?
Well, I like a horse that has very little experience, and usually I wouldn't pick a horse like this in a scenario like this where you've got horses that have a lot more experience. They're older horses. This horse is a 3-year-old facing older, and we haven't seen him since April. It is a ton to ask for this horse, but I think he's a good horse, and I also think today is the day to bet him because if he does run well, even if he doesn't win and he runs well at this level, we're going to see him at this level next time. And he probably will go off at a much lower price. He's 8-1 on the morning line. His name's number 5, Super Cruise, for Ray Ashford and Christian Torres, who's a 2-time riding champion here. His first race was really a phenomenal effort, given that he sat off the pace, made a massive move into the far turn, went from last to first in a matter of strides. It was a gigantic move, and then he got a little bit tired, flattened out to second, came back and won next time out, and actually easily defeated La Hooligan, who some people like in this race a little bit. He's 15-1. He's a little bit of a price play I've heard some people entertain as a possible upsetter. I think Super Cruise is a good horse. I think that he can improve from 2 to 3. He's got a 6-furlong work on the page. Ray Ashford, 13% with runners first off a break over 180 days. So he knows how to get a horse fit off these breaks. His numbers stack up. I think there's speed for him to run into. So it is a lot to ask of him, as I mentioned earlier. But I do think he can win this race, and I think he could be a very nice horse.
Well, Matt and I kind of did the same thing. I've got a 3-year-old taking on older, and that can be a big ask, but maybe later in this year, it's not as significant. So we'll see if First Division from the barn of Kenny McPeak can get the job done. Manny Esquivel coming in and riding a lot of Kenny's stock for the upcoming season. This horse might sound familiar. He was 3rd in the Bathhouse Row back this previous meet in the end of April, and I like the fact that he's proven here at Oaklawn in the money 4 of 5. He's also sharp at the distance. So First Division is going to have to step up off of that layoff, but hopefully that talent will come through, coming off of got a little bit of vacation time.
Yeah, he took some time off, and he had a hard 3-year-old campaign.
Yes.
I mean, they thought enough of him to run him in the Arkansas Derby last year, which ended up not working out, but he's obviously a horse that they've thought highly of, and if you look at the Damn Ice Woman, she's actually produced a number of stakes horses. Also a note here, Nancy, just so for the viewers at home and the players, that double is also a higher minimum, lower takeout.
Yes.
15% in both that get out pick 3 and our late double.
Race number 10 as we close out the card. Let's talk Arkansas bred 2-year-olds fillies. Maiden allowance at 6 furlongs, a full field of 12. You can pretty much guarantee that if it's an Arkansas bred race. And Matt, how do you see us closing out the afternoon?
Well, this is a fun race to end things. Always fun to see these Arky breds because we have a big field, pretty much all of them, and we've got plenty of Arkansas breds ready to run. I picked a runner that has experience, Secret Slew, number 7. She's 3-1 on the morning line. It was a very logical contender. Stock the pace was was third best, closed late going 6.5 furlongs at Remington. Now cuts back a half furlong, second time out for Donnie K. Von Hemmel. And I like this filly's effort, and I think that in against Arkansas maiden special weight runners, she should fare very well. And keep this in mind, the second place finisher in that race, Cold Case, we're going to see her in the first race today going 2 turns. She's a little bit of a price there, but she is facing open company, just like Secret Slew did last time out. So Secret Slew's the pick. Very, very logical pick for me to end the day.
I kind of wavered back and forth between your top pick and my top pick because I always like to say Louis Q in the last because you never know. It happens more often than not.
Louis Quinones.
Yes. But I am going to go with the number 5, Brunia from the barn of Lindsay Schultz. Abel Cedillo, another new face to our colony, took on runners in the 2 starts at Churchill Downs facing open, and that was versus maiden $50,000 claimers. Now, I was really impressed with that last race, showed a lot more speed. Things really went her way. She ran second, beaten less than a length at a really nice price at 23-1. Not going to get that today, but has that good solid foundation of those races under her belt as she does get to take on fellow statebreds in the nightcap. So those are 10 races that we have gone through, but we are not done yet. So let's throw up the graphic with our show bet parlay. And just remember, if you wager on track, you do get more bang for your buck in the show because there's a lower takeout. Matt's going to go with race number 1, 6, 8, 9, and I'm going 3, 4, 6, 8. And my long shot play of the day, well, I think Rockin' Robin's scratch, so that's not going to do me any good. But Matt's is in race 4 with the 4 Easy Fast top pick, sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. I'm looking to Y City in the second, while Matt goes with Mescal in race number 5.
I want to note something real quick,
Yes.
Nancy. That race 9 is going to be the 5 Super
Oh,
Cruise
okay.
on there.
There
so
we go.
caught off guard, 20-1 the morning line, not in the show parlay. So
That's right.
just want to note that. But other than that, everything looks great. Nancy, I think your picks are real solid today.
We'll see.
It's going to be a heck of a fun day.
It's going to be a fantastic day because you have decided to join us and made the good decision to come to where all the action is, and all eyes in the industry will be right here looking at the Spa City as we kick off another stellar season of racing.
Yeah.
So anything in particular that you're looking forward to when you get up to the booth? Not only the ducks, because the ducks are here.
Yes, they are here, and they are rearing to go. Trust me on that one. I think when you it's like when you walk into the grandstand, right, and you just get
that vibe.
of
It's
I'm
the
here at the
energy.
races today.
Yes.
I can't wait to get up there and walk out and see all of Oaklawn in all its glory and get ready to call some great races. But I am very much looking forward to the 2-year-old races.
Good deals.
This month.
Same here. The energy is palpable. We are just over 30 minutes away for that first post. I have a sense that they will be cheering and clapping as they come into the stretch. I love that when they root them home. So for Matt Dinnerman, I am Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.
eligible. Numbers 5 and 14 both scratched out of race 2. The 13 draws into the race will run. We also have 2 rider changes. In race 2, number 10 Cava, now ridden by Rafael Bejarano. Rafael Bejarano rides number 10 Cava in race number 2. And also in the second race, number 13, Not For Everyone, make the jockey Ramon Vasquez. Ramon Vasquez rides number 13, Not For Everyone, in race 2. The third race begins a middle pick 5, races 3 through 7. In race number 3 today, we're clear. No changes in race 3. Over in the fourth race today, scratch number 6, Optimal Courage, scratch number 7, Cash Fever, and scratch the also eligibles, numbers 13 and 14. Numbers 6, 7, 13, and 14, all out of race 4. Race 4 begins the middle pick 4, races 4 through 7 today. The fifth race, we scratch number 2, Chances Are. Number 14, Little Crush, is out. Numbers 2 and 14 out of race 5. Number 13 draws into the race, will run. Ladies and gentlemen, please note race 5 begins the $1 Class 6 Pick 6, a Pick 6 sequence. The last 6 races every day here at Oaklawn, the Class 6, a $1 minimum bet. Races 5 through 10 begins in that 5th event. The sixth race begins the late pick 5 sequence. Scratch number 11, Metatron's Muse, and number 13, Gewürztraminer, also withdrawn. Scratch numbers 11 and 13 from race 6. Also in the sixth race, number 14, Dynamis, draws into the race. He will run. The seventh race starts the late pick 4, scratch number 4, On Ramp, and scratch number 13, Cusp of Mischief. Numbers 4 and 13 are out of race 7. Number 14 draws into the race. He will run. The eighth race is our feature race, the $150,000 Advent Stakes, the 5th running for 2-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs. In race 8, number 6, Spun DMC, is 1 pound overweight. The penultimate race on the program is race 9. In the 9th race, scratch number 3, Natural Rights, and scratch number 9, Happy Strike. Numbers 3 and 9 both scratched out of race 9. Numbers 13 and 14 drawn to the race. They will run. Also in race 9, number 1, Myra's Boy, make the jockey Rafael Bejarano. Rafael Bejarano rides number 1, Myra's Boy, in race 9. And number 2, First Division, is 3 pounds overweight. The finale is race 10 today. In the nightcap, scratch the also eligibles, numbers 13 and 14. Post time, 24 minutes until the opener here at Oaklawn Park. Enjoy your afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, please note, along with our Class 6, the $1 Class 6 races 5 through 10, we also have 2 additional new wagers for you we'd like to announce to you. Race number 8 today begins the Get Out Pick 3. It's a $3 minimum pick 3 with a 15% takeout. And in race number 9, that's the first leg of the late double, the final daily double of the day. Races 9 and 10 with a $5 minimum and a low 15% takeout. We, of course, still offer rolling doubles and pick 3s throughout the afternoon.
Oaklawn is making the easiest bet in racing more fun and more profitable for its on-track customers by offering the one-of-a-kind show bet bonus during the live meet.
We want you to enjoy the pleasure of cashing a ticket. With this bet, the payoff on show wagers made at Oaklawn will be higher than the payoff on the same show wager made off-track or through advanced deposit wagering services.
Fans will be able to follow the show bet bonus throughout the race day on a special display that will appear on the tote boards and will be shown on in-house TVs.
With show wagering, all you have to do is finish first, second, or third. The display will clearly indicate the higher payout on every winning show wager made at Oaklawn.
We want to increase your opportunity to cash tickets, which puts more money in your pocket.
Time to place your bet.
Oaklawn Hot Springs is here for when you need to break away, when you want to reconnect, when you say yes, when you deserve to treat yourself, when you decide to roll the dice, when you need to refuel, reset. It's all here. So what are you waiting for? Plan your stay at Oaklawn Hot Springs and come join the fun.
I ask myself, but there's no explanation for the way I feel. I know I've reached the right destination, and I know it's real. I'm longing for the
And the runners are now making their way onto the track for the first race of our beat here at Oaklawn this season. Race 1, 2-year-old fillies going 1 1/16 on the dirt. Scratch number 5, Rockin' Robin. The first race begins the early pick 5. There's also Win Play Show, Exacta, Trifecta, Superfecta, Daily Double, pick 3, Wagering. Post time for the opener, 9 minutes.
Loves her mama, loves Jesus, in America too. She's a good girl, is crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too. And it's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. And I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling. Move west down Ventura Boulevard, and all the bad boys are standing in the shadows, and the good girls are home with broken hearts. I'm free, I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling.
2 minutes to post time. 2 minutes.